Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. We are from Group 2 AM2254E. We'll present to you the benefits and drawbacks of online education. Before we proceed, let me introduce myself and my group members. My name is Nik Nur Fadilah binti Nik Muhammad Fakri and I'll be the first presenter. Next to me, we have Nur Amira Shahira binti Muhammad as the second presenter. Then we have Nur Adriana Shahila binti Muhammad, the third presenter. And the last presenter is Fatin Amira binti Torji. We definitely believe that everyone now is familiar with the phrase online education. According to Akaful and Abaidu, online education is assessing online learning and teaching resources by using information and communication technologies. Online education, sometimes referred as e-learning or open distance learning. We believe we are all agree that online education can be a highly effective alternative method of education for the students who are mature, self-disciplined, well-organized, and having a high degree of time management skills. However, it is an inappropriate learning environment for the dependent learners and those who have difficulties in accessing the online education. The United Nations International Children's of Emergency Fund, UNICEF, in 2020 has reported that at least a third of the world's total school-going children were unable to access online education when the schools were shut due to COVID-19. Alright, enough with the definition and introduction. Here is our thesis statement. Online education has become a vital global education arrangement or new norm of today's situation. This new norm has benefited the existing education system for almost the entire world, especially during the pandemic COVID-19. Although it has benefited many people, there are certain groups of people who are struggling from the drawbacks of online education. Therefore, today, we will highlight the benefits and drawbacks of the online education. Alright, let me begin with the first benefits of online education, which is online education has allowed unlimited access to information, knowledge, and learning. Various study materials from online platforms that can be accessed and saved to our devices subject to the copyright regulations. And this will make it easy and readily available in the devices for quick searching when needed. For example, we can easily use the searching features by keying in the title of the document that we need. Besides, these digital study materials will not take up many spaces to store the materials, unlike the traditional paper-based materials that require so much physical space to store them. For instance, the thicker the book, the more space is needed to store it. And as to suit the learning needs for both students and teachers, the digital education materials is designed with features that allow the material to be personalized into personal collections that can be archived and edited. Plus, the material also can be edited for how many times it takes. Moreover, when online education has allowed unlimited access, it will directly enhance collaboration among students in group learning settings by sharing the digital materials through a direct upload to a ready-made cloud storage or can be distributed by any kind of social network including both formal and informal platforms. Moving on to the second benefit of online education. Online education actually can help teachers in the process of setting up the teaching modules. Teachers can use a huge variety of freely available and modern online tools and applications to create the study materials for various different purposes. For example, they can use Canva, Photon, and Prezi to create and edit slide notes and modules. Furthermore, teachers can find many ready-made materials and study modules in an online database that helps them to prepare for teaching, like Emerald, ResearchGate, and Google Scholar to find articles, or they can also find access to ebooks and online reference books. Not only that, the preparation and distribution of the teaching and learning materials can be edited and uploaded even after publishing the documents. And this will ease teachers as they do not need to reprint and redistribute the materials to the student like the traditional paper-based materials. Additionally, students will always have access to up-to-date materials as the online tools allow the teachers to edit the available materials without creating and uploading the new versions. Hence, we can say that online education may give benefits to both students and instructors as it will ease both sides in the teaching and learning process. It also able to help both students and instructors from preparation of the study material until storing and accessing the materials online.
Then, the benefits of online learning are from the aspect of flexible, low cost incurred, and only require internet connections. From that, we know online learning is depend on technology, the interests, and the device that are used. In order to ensure that online learning session runs smoothly, students need a strong internet network and also a device that can work well or a device with high technology. Besides that, online learning also will foster involvement in interpersonal relationship among students. Apart from that, interpersonal relationship refer to the associations between two or more people that may range from fleeting to enduring. Moreover, interpersonal relationships are formed in the context of social, culture, and also other influence. Other than that, online learning also will give students an experience quality of learning that is not only related to the teacher skills and ability to capture attentions. This is because in online learning, students will also experience digital skills because they need to explore more editing applications for the purpose of video presentation, as an example, and as compared to face-to-face learning, students need to deeper explore on editing applications due to no video presentation is required. Therefore, in online learning, students will not get the same impact as in face-to-face learning. This is due to the different nature with the two methods of learning. However, in online learning, we can see that the rate of technology literacy among students is increased, and this is important since we are in the phase of rapid web development. The next benefits of online learning we can see in terms of useful, easy to use, and less navigation effort needed by the student. Besides that, online learning allow communications between student and teacher in a synchronous way. Apart from that, a synchronous way of learning refer to the learning process that allows students to learn on their own schedule but within a certain time frames. Moreover, a synchronous way of learning allow and give access to students to complete lecture, reading, assignment, and other learning material at any time. In addition, online learning allows real-time exchange of message and content between users. This is because when students have questions, they can directly contact the lecturer through any appropriate applications. Accordingly, they will be able to respond quickly from lecturer, as lecturer will only focus on online platforms. And as compared to face-to-face learning, lecturer have the potentials to be able to answer questions quickly because online platforms are not their main focus. In addition, online learning is more appropriate due to its particular features, and it uses the dedicated platform for universities. This is because in university, students need more outside resources to complete their assignment. So, online learning make the student smarter and more efficient at finding materials on the internet. Not only that, in university, students also need more consultations with their lecturer. Therefore, it can indirectly save their time by doing online consultations with their lecturer. Lastly, online learning enables students to exchange experience and material between university. Before this, most of the university were using face-to-face learning as their main method of learning, and this is one of the reasons why students were not too open with the variety of online platforms available which can be used to communicate remotely. However, since pandemic COVID-19, majority of the university has changed to online learning as their main method of learning. So, it helped the student to be able to communicate remotely, including from abroad by using the appropriate online platform. Therefore, the convenience to students in terms of time and money on online educations are the most benefits that obviously students will reach as compared to face-to-face educations. Other than that, through online education, it also helps students to better understand. It indirectly also will increase the quality of education.
The first drawback of online learning that we can see is in terms of cluttered time management. Online courses have more classes compared to on campus. For example, lecturers can make an extra class even at night because students just have to attend the class online. But if on campus, it is impossible for the lecturer to do the class at night because some of the lecturers and students live far from the campus. Besides that, time management has a major disadvantage to controlling their own coursework. Some students complain that online courses require too much self-motivation, organization, and planning, particularly in terms of expected coursework. When the students do not have a proper control over their time, they will not perform well in their coursework, and it eventually makes them stressed. They need to work harder compared to face-to-face classes.
Perhaps because the circumstances that they face did not so much motivate them to keep trying well. Circumstances like a noisy house or maybe a problem with their internet connection. Furthermore, for the lecturers, time spent teaching an online course increases directly with the number of students enrolled. Because of the time spent communicating with students, such as time spent emailing, time spent replying students' questions, and other factors. Online courses take longer to complete than face-to-face courses. A significant amount of time was spent answering individuals' inquiries that might have been handled in face-to-face environments. The drawback of online learning that most students face is technical problems. Technical problems are problems with equipment that make completing a desired action difficult or impossible. Examples of technical problems that students usually face are limitations in instructional delivery, turning in assignments, and laptop failure. Many students are unable to keep up with their virtual classmates due to a lack of sufficient data or unstable internet connection required for online courses. Their inadequate computers make it difficult to follow the course, which makes their learning experience difficult. In addition, students who are unfamiliar with the technology will be frustrated and dissatisfied, particularly to students who are already uncomfortable or unfamiliar with the technology or the online environment. Many of them are unable to use basic applications like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, and hence are able to manage their work, and because of this, they either ignore the course or focus the technology rather than the subject. They are not interested in studying the subject because they feel that they always have trouble using technology while studying a subject. Even slight issues can be a big barrier reducing satisfaction and course participation, while increased mental burden, which impede learning. For example, when a student is eager to learn, even though in fact they are less interested in technology, but they are eager to learn, and suddenly there is a technical problems that cause the motivation of students to learn goes down, and the student is no longer interested in learning because they think that too many challenges for them to learn the subject. Thus, education requires a strong commitment of time, money, and other resources regardless of the environment. Students who require face-to-face class or personal connection with classmates should reconsider doing a majority of their education online. An online program, on the other hand, can be ideal for someone who enjoys having complete control over their time and resources. Only a positive attitude can help them overcome the problems of online learning. While this is difficult to do in reality, students must recognize that it is required in order to enjoy the benefits of online learning in the future.
Then, the drawback of online education can be seen in the student readiness to adapt to the new norm of study, presence and expansion of online learning to estimate its development. It is essential for the student to still be present in the online class, even if they are not fully ready. This is because the instructor and faculty will assess the student adaptation to online education, as particularly their readiness. In addition, student readiness poses a great impact on the success of an online course or program. If the student readiness is still low, it will cause them to have difficulty in studying and might cause them to lose their motivation and interest in studying. When it happens, it will affect the success of an online course. Students must have the necessary technology available to them, such as a suitable computer and internet access, before they can get the benefit from this type of program. The existence of online education has encouraged the use of technological gadgets. It has become the limitation for students who are not afforded a computer and internet access, which surely will influence their readiness for online learning. Other than that, as with other forms of distant and distributed education, students must be self-directed learners. It means the students also have the responsibility to build their readiness for online learning to ensure they are still on track with their studies. The next drawback of online education is the ability to access course material, which have the limitation or challenges to fully access it. This situation becomes a source of contention not only for students but also for teachers and tenant faculty. To ensure that the course is accessible to all students, tenant faculty must consider the availability of software and hardware when designing the course. It is related to the student preparation for online education. Students who live in smaller towns or distant areas of the country may not have access to or be able to afford new computer equipment. This will cause them to not be able to access course material that is provided by the teachers or faculty. Additionally, for courses that emphasize practical learning and involve the use of machine and other tools, an insufficient number of machines has put a limit on their ability to access course material. These challenges prevent students from completing the task efficiently, which influence their overall grades for the course. Therefore, this lack of access set the stage for learners given the competitive advantages. Students who have advanced technology will move forward, and those who do not have access will be left behind in this online learning. This setting is certain to have an effect on the students' development. As a conclusion, we can conclude that student readiness on online education and also the ability to access course material has become the limitation and drawback to the student, instructor and also to the faculty in adapt effectively with this new environment of education method.
At last, we have seen that online education might give benefits and also drawback for both students and educators. We can say that both groups are affected by the drawbacks of online education, especially in this era of pandemic COVID-19, when we have no other best options other than online educations. However, there's both groups can enjoy the benefits from online education as well, where online education has eased and assist their teaching and learning process in various ways.